Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor. Today we're out driving the 2021 Kia Seltos S Turbo. The Seltos is a new entry-level subcompact crossover from Kia. Shares a lot with its corporate cousin, the Hyundai Venue. It's also in the same class as new small crossovers such as the Chevy Trailblazer, the Nissan Kicks, a little bit bigger than a Ford EcoSport. I wouldn't be surprised if Ford were coming around with a competitor in this size as well, since it seems to be all the rage. And in this packaging, I do kind of understand. It's certainly not my favorite car to drive around, but I get why someone might pick this vehicle over something like a Corolla or a Civic, or what used to be sort of thought as the standard entry-level vehicle. It does have a good amount going for it. It's got all the bells and whistles that you would need from an entry-level car. Now this, admittedly, is one of the more expensive trims of the Seltos, and it's not the trim I would recommend. And that mostly comes down to this engine. This is the upgraded 1.6-liter turbocharged inline-4, making 175 horsepower and 192 pound-feet of torque. And it's stout, it's capable, it's made it to a perfectly good 7-speed dual-clutch automatic, which Kia's been using for a while now. So there's nothing wrong with the engine. My issue with it comes in that this is not a fast car, this is not a sporty car. At no point driving this vehicle around this week have I felt inclined to do any sort of sporty driving, or has this powertrain encouraged any sort of sporty driving. So why would you spend the extra money, lose out on features for this price point, to get a little bit of extra power? The base 2-liter still makes 145 horsepower, and it's certainly not going to feel fast, but it's going to be plenty fine for all your day-to-day type of driving. So I just don't really understand spending extra money to get a little worse fuel economy and just marginally better performance in a vehicle that doesn't need performance in the first place. But either way, since some of you might care, let's do a little 60-0 emergency braking stop and a 0-60 launch. Launch, throw it into sport mode, turn traction control off. See, it's certainly no pocket rocket. It's not like hot hatch, anything like that. So I would say pass. If you want the best bang for your buck in this class, go for the EX model. It's got the most features for the least cost. You are still getting all-wheel drive, and you're getting the slower motor. But where I would go is the one model that only has front-wheel drive. I believe that's the S trim. You're not getting a whole ton in terms of features, but you're spending a lot less money, and you're getting up to 34 miles per gallon on the highway according to the EPA. When we tested this Seltos on our highway fuel economy test, we did do 1 mile per gallon better than its EPA rating of 30, so we got 31 miles per gallon, but you could do even better in all sorts of driving with the front-wheel drive, lower-powered engine. What the Seltos does well is it's perfectly competent at everything you need it to do for daily driving. That's not to say it's remarkably good at any of it. It's a driving experience that sort of just fades into the background and allows you to focus on other things in life. I can't imagine many people who are truly passionate about driving and about owning automobiles buying a Kia Seltos. It's more the type of car for someone who just needs transportation, and for that it does a really good job. Not only does it transport 4 adults in perfect comfort, it's going to be dead reliable, long warranty, and has a good amount of cargo space. And I don't think it looks half bad either. We'll get an idea of highway noise here. Well, it's a little loud, but it's also a cheap car. One thing that's not cheap is Kia's active lane keep. Look at this. I've got no hands on the wheel right now, and it's perfectly piloting me around this fairly aggressive corner right here. This is technically an off-ramp, and it's handling it no problem, which is really remarkable because the last Kia I had, the K5, its lane keeping assist was really bad. I had to constantly keep correcting it. It felt intrusive. I didn't care for it at all. but all throughout the highway fuel economy test and throughout testing of this Seltos, the active lane keeping's done really well. Interesting. I also appreciate that you have digital speed readout here in the Seltos. I think any car being sold in 2021 should have that. Sound system's perfectly meh. If you want to see more on that, we have a dedicated review to the sound system and infotainment system. Interior packaging is okay. This little compartment's fine for holding some stuff, but I think they could have done a little bit better job making a more compact shifter, maybe putting a little extra storage in there. You can tell there's really not too much to say about the driving experience in this car because we're not even stopped yet and I'm already kind of moving on to the interior. Interior quality doesn't scream cheap, it announces budget. And that might just sound like semantics to you, and in a way it is, but what I mean by that is everything still feels hardy. Nothing feels like it's going to break within the first year of ownership, but it doesn't inspire luxury either, as Alyssa put it. When Alyssa from Daily Motor drove this earlier this week, she pointed out that it was a car she was immediately comfortable with, and I think Kia did a really good job doing that. So when people go and test drive them at lots or get them in their hands, they can just go on with their lives. They just need a car, and they don't really care about how it drives. Fair enough, along it goes. I will say if there are any faults with the driving experience, I've noticed some weird jerkiness and delays between the dual clutch automatic and the turbocharged little engine. Coming off the line, oftentimes it's a little jerky, a little rough. They could do a good job smoothing that out, and I bet you the intelligent variable transmission in the base engine is smoother. Interestingly, with the all-wheel drive system here in the Seltos, you also get a locking center diff and hill descent control, or what they call downhill brake control. I don't know who's going to be doing a good amount of off-roading with their Seltos. It doesn't exactly have a bunch of ground clearance, but we did take it through some mild off-roading during our live drive, and it technically handled it, but to be in the type of situation where you really needed to flex the all-wheel drive system at slow speeds, I'd be impressed if you weren't damaging the bottom of your Seltos because of the limited ground clearance. Coming to a stop here, you see we do have a decent backup camera, lines that turn as you turn the steering wheel. Heated seats, which you get with all all-wheel drive models. A few different drive modes, which we didn't even really talk about on the road, but that's because they barely do anything. You've got normal, smart, and sport, and I hardly notice a difference between any of them. The throttle response is a little snappier in sport, but it really doesn't make too much of a difference. In the S Turbo model, you do get a normal key. You would not get that in the lower EX or the higher SX Turbo, so that's another reason to maybe skip the S Turbo. But I think the interior is fairly handsome. I like the blue and black mixture of colors. There's a little bit of gray down here, but I think it's a handsome gray. I don't like when Kia's corporate cousin Hyundai uses a bunch of gray in their interiors. I think it makes it look really cheap. Some storage right here, little felt bottom. The seats are a mixture of cloth and kind of a rubberized material, and I actually like them quite a bit. I like having heated cloth seats. Getting out, you can see it is a fairly handsome vehicle. It's a little unique in its styling, a bit funky, but I think it looks pretty good. I think in this class it's important to stand out, and I think the Seltos does a good job of being aggressive without being overly masculine looking. And rah, look at me. Nice wheels, especially on this S Turbo model. Nice little red accents. You can see we did indeed get it dirty, so it can do it. It's got that plastic cladding at the bottom. Back looks attractive as well. Pop open the trunk. I'm glad it's not an automatic liftgate. Perfectly easy to lift up with the hydraulics. Like I said, a good amount of space back here. Lift that up and see, got a compact spare. You could also get away with storing some stuff under there if you'd really like. A single grocery bag hook, and seats that are very easy to fold down. Like that, and down they go. You get a fairly flat load surface. If you do need more room back here, you can take this whole floor and drop it down. Look at that. That's even deeper. Might make it easier to get something like a bicycle back here. But if you want that flatter load surface, just lift it back up. Right there. You can crawl in. As 5'10" person, I can't get myself perfectly back here. There's definitely almost a foot that's sticking out, no pun intended, but you could go sideways and lay it back should you want to camp in your Seltos. Nice handle right here to close the rear hatch. Coming into the back seat. fairly easy to lift these up. Nothing remarkable either way. Not the lightest, that's for sure. I was really impressed with the rear seat room in the Seltos. As a 5'10" person, I've got plenty of knee room, plenty of headroom, and arm room. You wouldn't want to put 3 adults back here for an extended period of time, but 2 can fit very comfortably, especially with this fold-down armrest. The seat has a little bit of a vertical incline to it for my taste, but I could certainly be back here for a long time. Not only that, but I have a good amount of vision over the driver's headrest. So this would be plenty fine as a road tripper. In the more well-outfitted models, you'd get some air vents back here, maybe a few other rear goodies, possibly a USB port. But like I said, this S-Turbo model, you're pretty much paying for that engine, and that's what I kind of disagree with in this class. If you're going to pay money for an engine, at least get a car that's exciting to go around it. That's what hot hatches exist for. But let's pop it open nonetheless, take a look. There it is, a little 1.6 liter turbo. GDI stands for gasoline direct injection. Simple enough. So there it is, the Kia Seltos. A decent little car. I think it'll sell well. I think it fits what a lot of people are looking for. But again, wouldn't go with the S Turbo model. I think if you want the top of the line, you go for that SX Turbo, get all the bells and whistles. But if you're looking to maximize your dollar, get the base engine and get yourself the EX. Thank you all so much for watching. If you want to see more on the Seltos, check the links in the description for our highway fuel economy test and our sound system review. And we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.